Hello everyone, I'm Ameena Khan. I'm an English teacher. I'm basically from Mumbai, but presently I'm in Bangalore, a city which is famous for its good weather. I'm a TEFL and a TESOL graduate from ACT, that is Asian College of Teachers. I'm also been certified from British Council and Cambridge. I have an experience of 10 years and trained more than 10,000 students. So, today I'm here to talk about what is communication skills. Second, why communication skills are important as a professional, and how can you make it more effective in your personal and professional life. As if you are a CEO or a chairperson or in a sales or in an HR department, or you are working in an IT sector as a software engineer, or you are working in a well-known MNC company. You need proficient and a professional communication skills. So let's start and learn today basically how can you talk professionally to others. So my first question is, what is communication skills? What is communication skills? A good verbal and written communication skills which are essential in order to deliver and understand information quickly and accurately. So, as a professional, you should know how to, in order to deliver your message and understand the information which is given by others to you. This is the way how the communication skill is. Now, communication skill is divided in three parts. So, very first, communication skills are divided in three. First is verbal communication. So, the first part of the communication skill is a verbal. Second is written and written communication. And third is non-verbal. This also plays an important role. Non-verbal communication. So let's start with the first thing, that what is a verbal communication. A verbal communication means you should listen very carefully and understand others. It means if you are in a meeting or you are in an interview or you are in a presentation, you should listen well, properly what the other person, what message is the person conveying you by speaking. Next is written. Written communication is you should know to read, you should know to read and write, you should know to read as well as you should know to read and write the message or information what you want to convey to others, or as well as what you want to receive from others. So by sending, it can show your good communication skills if you send a proper email, okay, or you prepare a proper report about your work. So this shows that you have a proper communication skill, that is a written. Now let's go to the next one, non-verbal. Non-verbal means you're observing someone, observe someone, and a person observe and infer infer the person. Infer the person means you can understand what the person wants to tell by his gestures. Like if I show you a hand and I say thumbs up, it means that I'm telling everything is good. Or if I do a handshake to you, it means that I'm showing a non verbal communication skills to you. Or even one way, if I show you a finger, it means that be quiet. These are usually the non-verbal gestures. Or sometimes when you're talking to somebody and you lean little of in front, it shows that you are telling a person thank you. So let's go to the important skills what you need to absolutely to be very successful in your communication. So let's start with some points or some skills which you should know if you are a good professional. So my first point is listening. Second is straight talking. Okay. Next is non-verbal communication. Okay. After that, I'll stress management, which is very important. And fifth is emotion control. Last is para language. Okay. Now, let's start with the first point, which is listening. You know, it's very important. As it has been said, being a good listener is one of the best way to be a good communicator. If you really want to be a good communicator, a professional communicator or a good communicator, you need to listen others well. It helps you to understand them well and convey your message to them too. Okay. Now, my next point is straight talk. Okay. If you are a confident personality, if you are a professional and you're very confident about your way of talking and expressing your views or your ideas or your opinion to somebody and you talk very well, it means that that is a straight talk by presenting yourself in your speech. Okay, let's go for non-verbal communication. This is also very important because non-verbal communication means your gestures, the way how is your body language, the way how are your facial expressions and you behave in your workplace as well as in your personal life. So if I do a handshake to you, it means that I'm showing a positive attitude. And usually, as a professional person, you should know to give a smile. A smile works much better than words sometimes. So you should smile and talk to others. Be very humble, polite to your workmates, to your people, which makes you a good personality in front of your people who are working with you. Okay, let's see the stress management. Nowadays, everyone is having a stress at work, stress at home, and stress of lot of things. But if you are a professional person, you should know to handle your work stress as well as your personal stress well. It shows that how well you are being a person, because sometimes when you are in your office you show your stress management by nervousness or by talking inconfidently to others, or sometimes you become rude to your workmates too. So you should know to manage the stress at work. Now let's go for the emotional control. Now emotion control means sometimes you are very much arrogant or angry about something. You didn't like the work of your co-worker who is working with you, and you know he has did a mistake. But then so as a senior person or as a subordinator to someone, you have to be very humble, you have to be very polite to that person, and that all can be that all shows that how goodwill you have. You can be polite to them. Okay, let's go a very important thing, a very important point for me is in a communication is para language. You know what is para language? Para language means actually How is your pitch of speaking? In what intonation are you talking? Plus, what is your intonation, and how is your speed of talking? Speed of talking. So sometimes it happens that as a professional, as a person, you do that, you talk very fast, you don't know how and where to take pause while talking, as well as sometimes your pitch is very high, or your intonation is not properly, whether you, if you're asking a question, so it should sound like a question. If you want to say somebody, for example, I want to say sit down, okay. If I don't know how to say that, and I am little like upset for something, and I say like this, okay, you sit down, it shows that your way of pitch of telling the simple thing like please sit down or sit down has changed the meaning, the gesture of your language to somebody else. Okay, let's go and now see some example that how can you communicate well. Okay, you attend lot of meetings and seminars, okay, or you give presentations in your office. So how do you can modify your language, how can you enhance your language, or how can you upgrade your language by using these type of words in your day to day communication. So let's start in the first word. I'll say, like, if you are sitting in a meeting or a presentation and you want to say, or you want to say something, and you want to start your sentence. So how can you start your sentence by using these words? Like, I'm giving an example. Well, okay. So we can use this word many places. Well, I think it is a good offer. Well, I think it is a good offer. Okay? Or I can say on the word as I think. It's a good project. As I think, comma, it's a good project. Okay? Okay? Or I can start my sentence. As per my knowledge, the project is awesome. Okay? Next one. Or you can start your sentence, I think, I think, or I realize our team needs to work on strategies. I think, I realize, or I will use I realize, comma, our team needs more good strategies. Okay, let's go for the next one. That is, I can say a favorite one of, in my point of view. In my point of view, he is a loyal worker. Okay, so this is a way how you can begin your sentence by telling like well, or as I think, as per my knowledge, I realize, or in my point of view. And there are many other ways, and there are many sentence beginners which you can use to modify your sentence and put up your views or ideas to others. Okay, let's see one more thing. If you want to give an example of something, so how can you start your sentence by giving an example? You can say, as I'm using one simple sentence, and I'll be using some words which you can use for an example. Like, for example, okay, for example, pollution is a big problem nowadays, correct? So, for example, pollution is a big problem. It's a big problem. Now, on the same sentence, I'm using the other way of giving an example. You can say, for instance, pollution is a big problem. Okay, or you can say to illustrate. I'm making a new sentence. Traffic is a big issue. Or another way, in other words, traffic is a big issue. So you can use for example, for instance, to illustrate, or in other words, to give example in your speech. Okay, let's see the one more thing which really helps you in English to change from a formal way, from an informal way to a formal way. Okay, so the first word I would like to say, ask. If you say a word ask, it's an informal way. But when you say inquire, it means you are using a formal way of telling a sentence. Like, I ask for the tickets. So in spite of asking ask, you can say, I inquired for tickets, or I inquire for tickets. Let's see the next example. Help. Simple sentence. He helps me. So, in a formal way, I can say, he helps me in my work. So, I've written a sentence, he helps me in my work. But if you want to talk in a proper and an enhanced way, or upgrade your language, you can say, okay, he assists me. This is the smartest way of telling. Okay, he assists me for my work. Okay, let's go for the next one. Book. This is a formal way how you say book, but the informal way is book, and the formal way is reserve. So you say, book the tickets for me. Book the tickets for me. In a formal way, you can say, reserve the tickets, or usually we use it in the hotels and we say, please reserve the table, in spite of telling, please book the table. Okay, last two words I would like to say, start. So the next word is start. Start means commence. Okay, I will start English classes from tomorrow. Okay, so in spite of that start, you can say, I will commence. I will commence English classes from tomorrow. Okay, let's go for the next and the last word, that is tell. Usually, informally, many people say, tell that person. So, if I say, please tell him to bring the file. To bring the file. So, in spite of tell, I can say, please inform him. So, these are some examples of the words which can change from your language from a informal way to a formal way of talking. So, as I think, learning English is an investment of a whole life. And learning English is also important for you because it can get you a good job, good salary, and promotion in your work as well. I think if you have a good communication skills, like you should know email etiquettes, presentation skills, or you know very well how to attend the meetings and attend the interviews or interview skills. This helps you, these all things helps you to be a great communicator. As well as there are many other ways of learning English nowadays, but the best way is subscribing my channel. As well as if you like my word, if you like my work, please share it, like it, and don't forget to comment me below. As well as if you want to join me online training for English from beginners level to the professional level of English, and for IELTS, that is International English Language Testing System, for OET, that is Occupational English Test. So, at your convenient time, so please join me for that. That's all from Ameena, and thank you.